So many times on this channel, I've described Reykjavik Eyes as the most comfortable, most durable, and some of the coolest glasses in the world. But I've also told you that Masunaga are producing the best quality frames ever made. So, which one is better? Well, in today's video, we're going to be comparing and contrasting two entirely different design philosophies, both working with titanium, to find out which one is best for you. So hi, I'm Robert, Style and Vision Consultant here at the Spectacle Factory, and it's my job to pair you with your perfect pair of glasses. Today, we're going to be looking at the very best of the best. These two brands are making arguably the best glasses in the world right now. But despite both being made out of titanium, they're so different from each other, both in the feel, the aesthetic, and the long-term durability. So once we've explored some of the best pieces in each collection, we're going to be giving each brand its SF score, and we'll truly find out which one is the best of the best. Let's start talking about Reykjavik Eyes. Out of all the glasses in my collection, I have more pairs of Reykjavik Eyes than any others. And that is for a reason, because let me tell you, these frames are incredible. The Alvar is a frame that I actually wear myself, albeit in a different colorway. I wear the copper. Here you see it in black and gold, which gives it a little bit more definition. And the Alvar is the quintessential Reykjavik Eyes look. Minimalistic, sophisticated, but cool, and typically Scandinavian. And that design philosophy is embodied by Reykjavik Eyes, especially in their core collection, which the Alvar is from. Each of these frames is laser cut out of a 1mm thick sheet of beta titanium, which is the same titanium that they use in aircraft. What that means is, these frames are incredibly strong. There are no solder joints, no welds, no screws, nothing, well, no springs either, nothing that can come loose or break on these frames. And that's why, in addition to being so comfortable because there's nothing extraneous in the frames, despite being so comfortable, they're also the most durable glasses ever created. We actually provide a 3-year unlimited guarantee on every Reykjavik Eyes frame. That is how confident we are that you will not break these glasses. And I have had clients drive over them in the car. I have clients who've sat on them or fallen asleep on them. I myself do a lot of music production, so I wear headphones a lot, and obviously that's putting pressure on the temples. But it's not just technical either, because I do think that that super minimalistic look is very clean, very fresh, very young. And that is one of the things that appeals to people about Reykjavik Eyes. And particularly if you complement these with a lens tint, you just can't go wrong. So with that introduction to Reykjavik Eyes out of the way, how does that compare to Masunaga? Far older than Reykjavik Eyes, Masunaga have been producing glasses for over 100 years. Founded in 1905, the goal of Masunaga was to revolutionize Japanese eyewear manufacturing. You see, back in the early 20th century, the best glasses at that time all came out of Europe. Japan in general, not just in eyewear, but in general was seen on par with China in terms of their production was all about making things in large quantities at low cost. Masunaga were the company that set about changing that philosophy. They wanted to make Japanese eyewear the best quality in the world. And over 100 years later, they achieved it. Now, almost all of the best glasses are made in Japan. And most of them made by Masunaga, who make other brands like Dita, for example, one of the most popular cult eyewear brands on the planet. Masunaga's core business philosophy is that whilst making a profit is good, it's not essential, and they're not afraid to take a loss in the pursuit of excellence. And that kind of design philosophy exudes from every pair of Masunaga glasses that you will put on. Every millimeter of these glasses is a beautiful act of craftsmanship, and you're going to see more of that as we go through this video. But the cord frames, which are their most simplistic, are almost like Reykjavik Eyes in their purity. And when you see these glasses, at first glance, they actually have a lot of similarities. But when you touch them, when you feel them, and when you look at them up close, you see just how different they are. For example, the lens rim on the Cord A, which is from a series of frames named after musical chords, which is pretty cool, is probably about 3 to 4 times thicker than the Reykjavik Eyes Alvar. Now that does have its inherent advantage. If you have a stronger prescription, this is going to work to hide that lens thickness better. On the other hand, Reykjavik Eyes is actually one of the brands that I recommend most for high prescriptions, because their construction is completely different than almost any other glasses in the world. You see, whereas with most frames, like the Masunagas, the lenses are fitted within the rim of the glasses, with Reykjavik Eyes, the rim of the glasses is fitted within the lens. And that means that these frames don't have the use for any screws to hold them together, for example. Everything is held under tension. But the other thing that means is that if you do have a slightly thicker lens, the frame will actually divide that thickness between the front and the back, which in essence makes it look half as thick as it actually is. So I've made Reykjavik Eyes frames in prescriptions of plus minus 10, or even sometimes stronger than that, and the clients have been absolutely over the moon with the end result. But if you're someone who likes to hide that thickness as much as possible, then clearly the Masunaga frame has the advantage there. They also have the advantage of looking, arguably, and definitely feeling a little bit more premium. And I say that because with a Masunaga frame, everything that touches your skin will be pure titanium. And that sensation, that slightly cold touch to your skin, does make the frames feel a bit more classy. It makes them feel more expensive because of it. On the other hand, with Reykjavik Eyes, we have rubber temple grips and silicone nose pads. Now, whilst that might not feel as premium, it does contribute to the glasses feeling a little bit more comfortable. In fact, to be honest, a couple tiers more comfortable than Masunaga. The Reykjavik Eyes frames just have this unmistakable and unmatched sensation that when you wear them, you don't feel like you've got a pair of glasses on. And for most people, they will actually prefer that. Now, these are examples of the most simplistic glasses within the collections of each brand, but let's explore some of their more interesting designs a little bit more closely. First up, we have the Bleaker, which is taking the very simplistic finishing of the Cord A and stepping it up. This is still pure titanium, but now we see a definitely more interesting and more unique geometric shape, complemented by the gold accent colors at the lugs. Really draws accentuation to the interesting shape. By the way, whenever you see any gold with Masunaga, that will be real gold. And gold plating has the advantage that it does tend to last longer than paintwork. You see, there is one element where Japanese eyewear manufacturing isn't quite the best in the world, and that is painting titanium. Painting titanium is very, very difficult, and the paint has a tendency to not adhere properly. And that means that after a year, after 2 years of wearing most titanium glasses, even made to the very, very best standard, you will start to notice the paintwork chipping, especially if you're not too careful with your glasses. That is where Reykjavik Eyes are the leaders in the industry. Because Reykjavik Eyes, in their factory in Italy, found a way to paint titanium using a unique annealing process where the paintwork is as durable as any other frames in the world. I've literally almost never seen paintwork chip from a Reykjavik Eyes frame. These glasses you don't have to be precious about. And by the way, the finishing on this frame, which is their newest model, the Runar, is a sight to behold. It has this beautiful, gorgeous, navy blue brushed finish, which gives the frames just that little bit of character. And despite being an almost ordinary rectangular shape, that slight tapering in as we go lower in the frame gives these frames an edge, as well as the fact that they've used a thicker cut of titanium than usual. It's still super thin from the top because these are still made in the exact same way as all the other Reykjavik Eyes frames, but they've laser cut a thicker lens profile, and that gives the frames that bit more boldness, that bit more definition, which makes them arguably a little bit more stylish, particularly for some kinds of people that want glasses that are a little bit more of a statement, while still representing that typical Scandinavian design philosophy. And both of these brands make rimless frames as well. For example, we have here one of my absolute favorite frame designs of all time, which is the Reykjavik Eyes Alba. There is so much we can do with these glasses, so much. It's a platform, because whilst these have an instantly iconic pilot shape, you can customize that shape to your heart's content. And one of the pairs that I love to wear most in my eyewear collection is a Reykjavik Eyes Alba with a custom lens shape that I designed and a cool tint to complement it. And those glasses look awesome and get so many compliments every time I wear them. But even in the stock default shape, the Alba is very cool. I love the floating brow bar. That gives these frames that extra technical, extra edgy, and kind of futuristic look, which is a real vibe when you wear them. And I think that ties in well too with the orange accent color on the inside, which you just catch from certain angles. It's not obvious all the time, but it gives the frames that bit of vibrancy. Now, these frames could not be any more different to Masunaga's take on rimless glasses. Whilst the Reykjavik Eyes have that young, vibrant, technical look, the Masunaga rimless has a far more classy, far more mature and elegant styling. And I love how these frames look too, just in a completely different sense to the Reykjavik Eyes. The extra use of gold on this frame and the incredible design of the temple, which I just think is so unique, gives these glasses their beautiful aesthetic. If you want a pair of rimless glasses that look classy, what more could you want than this? Just an extremely simple but elegant design, completed by the detailed screws that adorn the lugs and the bridge fixings to the lens. This is a rimless style that is cohesive in every way, from the shape to the design to the coloration. Everything just works really seamlessly together. And just like with the Reykjavik Eyes, you can customize these lenses as well. and we can create almost any shape with any tint in these frames and make them one of a kind. But I don't think there could be a more extreme example of the different design philosophies than the two rimless frames that these brands have created. Finally, if you want the best of the best titanium glasses, both brands have got you covered with that too. Let's talk about the frame that I've been most excited to talk about today, and it showcases all of Masunaga's incredible craftsmanship. There isn't an angle you can look at these glasses from and not see beauty. The way they wear is so eye-catching and represents a level of artistry that is unmatched. There's nothing in the Reykjavik Eyes collection that comes close to this design. In terms of the styling, what we have is a dual titanium rim. So we have essentially two titanium glasses brought together to create this design. It has amazing three-dimensionality. From every angle, it looks a little bit different. We have magical filigree detail adorning the temples and the outer lens rim. And even to finish all that off, the parts of the titanium that aren't so exquisitely detailed have this brushed satin finish. It's just gorgeous. It's simply gorgeous. Look at the way that continues to the end tips, which are even engraved as well. Even just that very few millimeters of the absolute ends of the frames, which almost nobody will ever see, are completed and finished to an incredible degree. And that ties back to what we spoke about at the start of the video, Masunaga's design philosophy. They like to make a profit, but they're not afraid to take a loss in the pursuit of perfection. When you wear these glasses, you feel the craftsmanship. You feel the passion that went into making them, where it wasn't just about creating a cool pair of glasses or a stylish pair of glasses or even a functional pair of glasses. It was about creating a piece of art. This is actually from the K3 collection, which represents the pinnacle of what Masunaga do. The K3 collection was designed in collaboration with Kenzo Takeda, famous inventor of the designer brand Kenzo, which really brought Japanese fashion to a Western audience. In collaboration with Masunaga, he's doing that with eyewear as well. This frame has to be one of the best pairs of glasses ever created. But Reykjavik Eyes have an ace up their sleeve as well. Their gold edition collection, whilst nowhere near the level of craftsmanship of what I just showed you, arguably is even better. And the reason I say that is because despite everything I've just told you about the Rindo, the Reykjavik Eyes Craftler is simply more comfortable. And arguably you could say it looks better as well because nothing about the Craftler is superfluous. It's still got that Scandinavian design philosophy, but completed with 18 karat gold plated. They're not just simplistically finished. We have a gloss gold plating on the inside of the frame and a brushed gold plating on the outside of the frame. That contrasting duality between the front and the back does give the frames that extra bit of intrigue on top of it all. Furthermore, this frame actually features a really cool tint, which is designed to mirror the northern lights, which obviously Iceland is famous for. You see, these frames originate from Iceland. They were designed by Gunnar Gunnarsson, an award-winning designer. Well, an award-winning designer because of Reykjavik Eyes. He actually won the famous Red Dot Award because of his creation. Whilst working in his parents' opticians, he realized that most glasses have the same few design faults. And he wanted to create a range of glasses that had none of those failings. Well, I can absolutely say that he achieved it. Gunnar Gunnarsson, we applaud you for changing what a pair of glasses can be. And Masunaga, all the credit in the world for revolutionizing Japanese eyewear. And on that note, let's give both of these brands their SF score. We'll start with Reykjavik Eyes. And when it comes to styling, of course, this is always the most subjective element. I think Reykjavik Eyes are stylish frames, but probably not in the top tiers when it comes to fashion. And I think it's fair to give them a 6 out of 10 when it comes to styling. For originality, obviously, Reykjavik Eyes have reinvented what a pair of glasses can mean in terms of both comfort and durability, and I think they have to get a 10 out of 10. In terms of craftsmanship, this is a really difficult one. What does craftsmanship represent? Does it represent details and finishing touches, or does it represent design? Because in terms of pure design, you have to give them 10 out of 10. A whole new way of manufacturing glasses was invented with Reykjavik Eyes, but they do lack some of the finishing touches and details that obviously make Masunaga so beautiful. 8 out of 10 for craftsmanship. In terms of comfort, again, an easy 10 out of 10. The most comfortable glasses I have ever experienced, I've ever tested, and that's not just my own feedback, that's based on my feedback from clients all over the world. And in terms of durability, same again. They're the only glasses that I could confidently say you could run over in a car and they're not going to break. And that gives Reykjavik Eyes a specs factor of 8.8, which is an incredible score and one they fully deserve. Now, can Masunaga match it? I think when it comes to styling, Masunaga definitely have the edge over Reykjavik Eyes. I think we're going to go with a 7 out of 10 for styling. In terms of originality, well, certain models, particularly within the K3 collection, are incredibly original. And who else has had such an impact on the eyewear industry as Masunaga? But a lot of their frames are very classic. This is tough. I think an 8 out of 10 for originality. In terms of craftsmanship, now this is where Masunaga stand apart. Nobody in the world is making frames with the level of craftsmanship that Masunaga are. And this is where they score an easy 10 out of 10. In terms of comfort, they don't quite match up to the top tiers of glasses like Reykjavik Eyes, but they're also not far off. Being made from titanium, they're all very lightweight, they feel very premium to wear, and we're going to give them a 9 out of 10 for comfort. Durability is the same again. Titanium is inherently an incredibly strong material, but these frames do have weak points. They do have hinges and screws and joints and solders, and all of those things can eventually fail or break. So we're going to go with an 8 out of 10 for durability. I have to say, when I started filming this video, I expected it to be closer. But style only goes so far, and ultimately when you're wearing your glasses all day, every day, the comfort and durability have to be a key factor. If you favor comfort and durability, I would choose Reykjavik Eyes all day long. But if you're an eyewear enthusiast, if you're someone who wants a really original pair of glasses, something beautifully made, a piece of art that you can wear, it has to be Masunaga all day long. Ultimately, you should probably have one of both. So I truly hope you've enjoyed this exploration of Scandinavian versus Japanese design philosophies. If you have, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more of the best eyewear content on the internet. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye bye.